Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, first of all, before starting our session, so I would like to invite all of you to join with me with going for refuge to the Buddha, and let's pay homage to the triple gems. So please keep your palms together and say with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe Panchasila, the 5 precepts, keep your palms together and repeat after me. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. Kamesu miccāchāra veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. Suramere majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs, with the refuge of the noble triple gem. I observe these precepts for happiness in this life, to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. First of all, let's all together pay our respect to my great Kalyana Mitra, the teacher who taught me this Buddha's teachings, our Pinvat Loku Swamin Wahanse. May all of our homage be to our great Pinvat Loku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Venerable Mahasangha and dear devotees, so today you all are gathered here to listen to the Buddha's teachings and to see how we can apply it to our life. So the Buddha did not invent Buddhism. Okay. Buddha did not brought his own philosophy to this world. What our great teacher Supreme Buddha did was he found the long lost path of liberation from the suffering. Often the Buddha refers this to a man walking through jungle and sees an old city covered with trees and like covered to the jungle due to the foliation. Sees an ancient city, okay, that was used by people who were in the past. So he finds this city and he turns back and he goes back to the king and says that I found this city and it was used by the people in the past. It's an ancient city. So please go and renovate this city. So what the king does is he goes to this city and he removes the foliation and he finds this long lost city and renovates it, make it a modern city. And the Buddha says that after some time, the city becomes a populated place, people start to live there, and it becomes a prosperous city. Same like that, the Buddha found the true nature behind all of our lives. Okay. And that nature, that one common nature that we all share in all of our lives is, one thing that we have in common is called dukkha. What is it? Dukkha. Dukkha commonly translated into English as suffering. What is it? Suffering. Now when we say this word suffering, someone can feel a little bit pessimistic, isn't it? Yeah, I get this reaction all the time, complain, why is that? Why Buddhism always talk about suffering? pain, death, sickness. No. Why? Can't we have something positive in life? Life is good. Why can't we talk about positive stuff? Okay. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit pessimistic when we talk about it, but that's only that happens only when you don't realize it. What truly the Buddha talks about. Okay? So what Buddha taught to this world was truths. And they are called the Four Noble Truths. What are they called? Four Noble Truths. Okay? So the Buddha found that there is one truth that is common to every living being who is born to this world. And that is, first, one inherent truth that we all share is, we are born to this world, birth, and as soon as we are born to this world, we start to age, isn't it? Yes. Okay. So aging is one common truth for all of us. Hello? Is that true? Yes. Okay. It seems like it is not true, looking at me. Aging is something that happens even right now. Okay? As soon as we are born to this world, okay? So we are born to this world not when we come out of the mother's womb, but also we conceive in our mother's womb. Okay? From that day onwards, we start to age. Isn't it? Yes. So we don't call little babies that they are aging. What we call is they grow up. Okay? But what happens really is they age. Okay? And we call aging as aging when we hit maybe after 35, or 40. When little by little the grey hair starts to appear, little by little our skin starts to wrinkle, we call it aging. But all through this whole life, during the childhood, during the young age, during the adult age, middle age, what has never stopped is aging. But see, this is a truth, but it is a little bit hard. Okay? A little bit difficult to accept. In the young age, we spend a lot of time in front of the mirror, and maybe after, when we get old, we don't spend that much. Okay? So the Buddha saw that this is something that is common to everyone, all of us. Aging. And then there's another truth that we all share, and that is the sickness. Okay? That is common to every living being. We get sick. No? Diseases. So that is also one common truth. Now does it seem like pessimistic? A little bit difficult, hard, Trust me, it won't get hard anymore, okay? Let's go into the forward and let's see what's going on. Then the Buddha says, okay, sickness is one common inherent nature that we all share. Okay? And then the Buddha says, death is one common nature that we all share. Okay? Difficult to accept, but it is true. Okay? That's why they say the truth is bitter. Hard to accept. Okay? And then there are other inherent natures that we all share, and that is separation from loved ones. Difficult to accept, but it is true. Okay? Having to be with undesirable people and undesirable things, undesirable conditions in life. That is also one common nature that we all have. Don't worry. Wait a minute. Okay? This is the first noble truth. Okay? So finally the Buddha says, whom we call this I, okay, whom we call this self, okay, there are 5 aggregates in us, whom we call this self is subjected to this suffering. Okay? But this person who we call I doesn't like to accept it, doesn't want to accept it. Okay? And the Buddha says that when he does not accept that suffering is a part of their life, part of our life, that's where we worry about it. When we are not ready to accept, we worry. Okay? Buddha refers this to a nice simile. Buddha gives a nice simile for this. A person gets hit by an arrow. Okay, let's say a person is traveling through the jungle and he gets hit by an arrow. Now first he didn't know that the arrow was coming. Okay? He doesn't know when it's going to come, how it's going to come, but it came and it hit the person. Now he is wounded, now it is painful. Okay? Then the Buddha says, as soon as he gets hit by the first arrow, he gets hit by the second arrow. Okay? The Buddha says the first arrow, he did not know how to avoid it. And more, he cannot avoid it. Why? Because he didn't know that it is coming. Okay? But the second arrow, first arrow is an accident. But the second arrow is not an accident. It's a choice. Okay? You got hit by the first arrow, it's paining now. But you could have been mindful about the second arrow. If you become aware of it, you can dodge it. You can avoid it. Okay? So the Buddha says, the first arrow, same as the first arrow is inevitable, unavoidable. The suffering that we face, difficult situations that we face in our life is unavoidable. These are the things that are out of our control. Aging is out of our control. Can we? Can't do that. Can't stop it. We can do something about it. You know, go for a facial and and have something on us, but you can't avoid it. Sickness, we can do some things about it, but totally the sickness, the nature, we cannot avoid it. Okay. Death, hard to accept, we cannot avoid it. Okay. Separation from loved ones, we cannot avoid it. Okay. So that is the first arrow. That is unavoidable. You don't know when it is going to come. You don't know how it's going to come. One thing that happens is we get hit by it. It is painful. Okay? It is really painful. I know. I have gone through it. You have gone through those experiences. We know how it feels like. Right. But the second arrow, what the Buddha said about second arrow, it is not an accident. It's a choice that we make. The Buddha says, an average person when he get hit by the first arrow, he's not same like an average person. He get hit by the first arrow and also he get hit by the second arrow. The Buddha says, second arrow is the worry that we make. Okay? Worrying about it, worrying about the unavoidable situations in life, the Buddha says, now when he get hit by the first arrow, it is paining, it's painful. He get hit by the second arrow, now there are two pains. There are two pains. Same like that. When you get hit by the truths of life, it is painful. Worrying adds more pain into that pain. Okay? What we do is, we create more pain into that pain, so that it is more painful now. But that extra pain, who created it? We created it. Okay? Then the Buddha says, when it is painful, now it is more painful, he created more pain into pain, now it is more painful, he becomes angry about it. He becomes angry about the pain now. Imagine a time you got sick. Okay? What's the most frequent thought that you get? It's the anger. When your body fails, you have other plans in your head, but your body is not up to that, you be angry with yourself. Why can't I do this? Why am I not capable of this? Okay? Sometimes we become angry about the others because you don't get everything that you need when you're sick in time. Sometimes you have to ask for things. So that we are angry about it. We become angry about the pain. And that anger creates more pain into pain. We add some more suffering into that suffering. Is it true or false? That's true. Now it is more painful. You see, these pains are the additional pains that we add into it. Trust me, I'm going to talk about pain a lot today, okay? So please bear with me. So, then what happens? Now it is more painful. This is the story behind our life, okay? Now it is more painful. So the Buddha says, the person, an average person, when it is more painful, he distracts his mind. And he does so many things to distract his mind by chasing behind the worldly pleasure, the material pleasure. So now it is more painful. Now what you do is, now I need to distract this. I need to forget this. So he finds some ways to do that. Sometimes when it is painful, some people drink a lot, intoxicate themselves. Why? To forget the pain. To forget that difficulty inside their heart. But forgetting doesn't make the pain go away. Okay? Distracting your mind from pain doesn't solve the problem. Same like we are having a painkiller. You drink a painkiller, does the disease cured? No. You just numb your pain. But the problem is there. I had one of my friends, okay, in my school, and he used to drink a lot, like crazy a lot. Sometimes we find we get some calls that he's fallen down like crazy. you know. In Sinhala we call it karati kadenna bono again. Okay. So I care about him because he's one of my best friends. So I sometimes, when he's like conscious, I talk with him. Okay. And I ask like, why do you drink so much? And he said, problems, man, problems, difficulties. And I said, I know there are problems, but will the drinking and all the stuff, will it go away? Will it solve the problems? There's no, man, no. Then I asked, then what do you do next? Is the problem stays still? So what do you do next? You drink some more. Okay? And after some time, the problem still exists. You keep numbing your mind to that problem, but you don't solve it. So we add more pain into pain. Why? The Buddha says, when you chase behind the material pleasure, one thing that has in our mind is that we are not satisfied with things. It's not easily satisfied, isn't it? Yeah. Sometimes we think, I wish I could have more. Something more. Something is missing in my life. Okay? See, when something is missing in your life, you feel like, I wish I could have something more. As in your mind is in struggle. Yes. Okay? So the Buddha says, when he has that, when he's not satisfied with it, he adds some more pain into that pain. The Buddha says that is how an average person creates and adds more pain into pain. What Buddha teaches us is to how not to add more pain into pain, more suffering into suffering. How? First, understand that pain and suffering is a part of our life. Okay? Pain and suffering is a part of our life that you can't avoid it. Okay? You can't avoid it. Life is characterized by all these things. Life is not supposed to be all the times good. Life is supposed to be all the times ups and downs. Have you seen the ECG tape? Huh? ECG line, the line. What if the line is a straight line? What happens to the person? Then he's dead. What if the line now goes ups and downs? That is, we are alive. That's how we are alive. So life is all about this. So that you learn to accept it. See it as a part of our life. See, when you think about it, really, it is not pessimistic. Pain and suffering is not negative. It is what tells us that we are living. Okay? So the first step of this is to accept it as a part of our life so that you are easy with it. You don't hate it. I was giving the same speech to a group of doctors in a hospital. And there was one doctor who came up to me after the sermon and he said, this is what we teach to the patients. And he's treating to cancer patients. And he said, this is what we teach to cancer patients, to accept that there is an ailment in their body. Okay, there is this pain in their body, but it is okay to have it. It is to see it as a part of their body. Okay, so he said, it's amazing when they start to accept the pain and that cancer that is in their body. The day that they start to accept it is the day that it starts to heal. Okay, so that means acceptance will create, it's the start of healing. Let's say you make mistakes in life. We make mistakes in life. I don't know about you, I make mistakes in my life. Okay? The reason why we suffer and regret is even after we make mistakes, we are not ready to accept that we made it. Our heart is not ready to accept that we made it. So I was asked, the other day I was asked, how to forget the past mistakes done. Okay. So I said, first step of forgetting is to accept that we are stupid. Okay. We are, I don't know about you, I am stupid in some ways in life. Okay, we make stupid choices, We make wrong choices in life. That's the common human nature that we all have. Once you accept it, and once you're not pretending that you make all the decisions correct and all the choices correct, no. You learn from them. You learn from your mistakes. But to learn, first you must accept. Okay. If you know that you don't know, then you're wise. The Buddha said that if someone knows he is foolish, then he is wise. In that sense. So, acceptance is the first part, to see it as a part of our life. See the life is characterized by this pain and suffering. So that we are easy with it. We don't expect and we don't imagine the dream life of without pain. We accept that what it is as a part of our life, so that we don't worry about it. Okay? When you see that it is a part of your life, so that you don't worry. Just to say to yourself, okay, this is life. This is what it's supposed to be. So I'm okay with it. So that you gain the consciousness to take the next correct decision. You know what to do next, how I'm going to deal with it. Worrying too much will lose the consciousness to take a correct decision next. Okay. In chess, when we play chess in the school, our coach always used to say this to me. It is not the first mistake that is going to mess up your game. It is the second mistake that you do right after the first mistake. We worry about it, the first mistake, and we take another wrong decision. Okay? So once you accept it, you are easy with it. You are not at war with the worry or the pain. Now he doesn't want to worry because he sees it as a part of his life. Now when he doesn't worry about it, he doesn't want to hate himself. He doesn't create hate inside. Okay? And now he doesn't add more suffering into that suffering. And when he doesn't hate, there is no need to seek or distract his mind from the material pleasures. Okay? And that is how we can create less pain, less suffering. So what Buddha says is, do not suffer more. Okay? Do not suffer more than needed. Sometimes we suffer more than needed. You know? When you understand this, when you understand that our life is, like in life there is this suffering, there's another advantage that you get. You can feel someone's suffering as well. That leads to a compassionate mind. Compassion means to feel someone's suffering. The word compassion derived from the Latin word compati. Com means together, pati means suffering. So compassion, compati means to suffer together. You don't want to suffer alone. You can share someone's pain. Right? See, most of the time we suffer alone. We suffer alone most of the time because sometimes we don't find someone to share our suffering. Sometimes it needs someone to listen to. You need someone to listen. Just sit by your side and just listen to your pain. Okay? So that it eases you. If you understand your pain and your suffering, you can feel someone's suffering too. So that you be a more compassionate person. When someone is angry, he's not angry just out of the blue. There is a reason. There is a pain behind his anger. Okay, so that you can understand who is the person, why do they behave like that. The main reason we are annoyed with such experiences is we don't know why they are angry. The reason behind their anger. You don't know how they feel. So that we become angry too. You know? Yeah. I heard this nice story. A guy went to, his wife said to him to go to the shopping center and buy some eggs, bring some eggs. So he went to the shop and he found a guy in front of the shop who was yelling at people. Okay? So he was going to the shop and he started to yell at this guy also. Okay. Now he was so upset. He was so embarrassed in front of other people. He was so upset, so he didn't go to the shop, he went back to house. And the wife saw that he has come empty-handed. And the wife asked, "Honey, why are you back early?" "No, where's the eggs?" He said, "Like that crazy guy in the shop, he was yelling at me. I was so upset, I was so embarrassed, I came back." So, the wife, sometimes wives, they know how to make their man angry and also calm down her man. I think you agree with that? Yeah. So he asked, "Okay, who is the person who shouted at you?" Then he said, "Like the guy with that long hair, skinny guy." "Ah, that guy, he just came from the mental hospital. He's mad a little bit. Okay, you don't worry about him, you go buy eggs." Now he goes back to the shop. Now the guy starts yelling at him again. But now the reaction is different. Why? Because he knows that he is mad. The Buddha says, when we become angry, we become temporarily mad. Okay? So next time you see an angry person, you see not an angry person, but just a mad person for a little while. That's why you say, I'm so mad. Okay? When you're angry, what do you say? I'm mad at you. Yes, it's correct. So next time you go see the angry person, you see a mad person. And who fights with mad people? Yeah, the same guys. So that you don't be the patient, you be the doctor. Okay? Are there any doctors here? Raise your hand if you're a doctor, please. Yes, I think there was one. Yes. If the patient is panicked and you become panicked, can you give medicine to them? No. Okay. When the patient is panicked, the doctor should be patient, not a patient. Okay? He should be patient, but not a patient. Understood? So, because you understand that there is suffering in every one of our lives, so that you know that every one of us are going through difficulties, difficult times. If you see someone's reaction or mean reaction, when you understand, maybe sometimes they are going through a bad day, so that you don't react quickly. In some people, sometimes they go through bad days. Sometimes all of their days are bad. Yes, we don't know, right? So that we can forgive, let go of that anger and think, I don't want to be a patient, I'll be the doctor. Okay? So today, in this little time, I'd like to share a few things that helps you to, with the understanding of this truth in life, these are the things that we must practice as qualities when we maintain the relationships with people around us. Okay? So the Buddha said there are 6 qualities, 6 practices, 6 habits that we need to develop to create a harmony between people, to create the cordiality, to create the love between people. In any kind of relationship, be it a husband and wife relationship or parents' relationship with their children, right? Maybe girlfriend or boyfriend or partners, anyone. These qualities will create the harmony and the love. Okay? So learn them and apply. Okay? To learn it is easy, to apply it is difficult. So don't be angry with me that these things are so difficult to do. But all the good things are difficult, That is unfair. That's how the world works. All the good things that we practice and good qualities that we have, we develop, we need to dedicate. Sometimes we have to cry to do that. But it is worthy of doing it. Okay? First thing the Buddha says, the Buddha introduced this to create the cordiality and harmony and the peace within the monkshood. So as a monk, I see this all the time within our brother monks. Okay? See, they are sitting next to me. I see them as my brothers. Okay, they are so helpful for me. Okay? In every part of my life. Without their help, it's very difficult for all of us to grow as monks. Okay? So these are the things that we practice. Number one, the Buddha says, you should develop bodily acts of loving kindness. Bodily, physical actions of loving kindness, but this is the most important part. Both openly and privately. What do you mean by that? When they are with you and when they are not with you, okay, you should do certain things to show your love and compassion to them. Bodily actions, physical actions that you do. That's why I say, love is not a noun, love is a verb. Should be put into practice. Okay. You can say that I love you, but how you feel love is with the actions. Okay. When you are a girlfriend and a boyfriend, what's the most loveliest word that you can say? I love you. I care for you. No? After you get married, what's the loveliest word that you can say? I'll do the dishes. No? I'll take care of the baby. No? I'll clean the house. That's the action. Okay? So understand that you should do the things that to show their love and compassion towards your companions. As spiritual companions we do it. As physical actions. Okay, I'm back in Sri Lanka, in Sri Lanka usually in our temple, sometimes I go out most of the time for the speeches like this. And sometimes I come back like in midnight, okay, whole the day like a hectic day. And I find little chocolates, toffees and certain stuffs on my table. Why? My brother monks, they have reserved it for me. Because they know that I'm like dedicating, I'm tired. Yeah. So these are the things that we do. See, these are like unspoken actions of love. You don't say it, but you show it by doing it. That's why I say, actions speak louder than words. Okay? Not only you say that you love, but you have to do and with actions. So next time you go home, find something to show that you care for them. Okay? Because everyone is struggling. Okay? When your partner or someone, you come back from work, okay, you don't panic to say how bad your day was. You ask, how was your day? So that you listen to them. That's compassion. So the bodily acts of loving kindness is crucial for harmony. Understood? Good. Then the Buddha says, number 2 is the verbal acts of loving kindness when they are with you and when they are without you also. Okay? So that you have to use your words to show the love and compassion. Okay? It's not only for your partner, but also especially to your parents as well. Sometimes you may get, like, you can say, okay, I don't have good parents, so that I can't show love to them. But no matter who they are your parents. I always say this for the children. No matter how big you are, your parents don't care. They will still advise you. They will always say that you're wrong. Okay? No matter how big your car is, okay, they don't care. Okay, you bring the best car in this world and park in front of your house. Okay? Your amma will definitely dry clothes, put clothes on it and dry. Yeah, they don't care. Right? Use it as a cloth hanger. Or to dry some spices. Yeah. In the hood, they put some coriander, and Sri Lankan mothers know this. Okay, they dry chilies on the top of the car. They don't care. Okay? But no matter who your mother is, it's your mother. That you show love. Love and compassion is not something give and take. Love is all about, compassion is all about giving. If you be kind to someone and expect something back, that is not love, that is business. Or that you expect something back. Call it something, but it's not love. So the verbal acts. Words matter. Words got power. Words can make people, words can break people. Understand that. That's the second one. Third one, the Buddha says, the mental acts of loving kindness, when they are with you, when they are without you. To do all about the about you can't do it without mental actions of loving kindness. You cannot do it without creating the love and kindness in your mind here. If you love and care for someone, spend some time, spend a genuine time with them. Time is important. Okay, I find a lot of people, they don't have time for their children, but they love. Right? They love, they care for them, but they don't have time for them to spend with them. But they supply everything, money, clothes, vehicles, everything. The mobile phone, buy the best mobile phone in this world and give it to your child, they don't feel loved. Love doesn't come from materials. Love comes from spending the time with them, sharing their thoughts, asking how was your day, how was the school, how you're feeling. That creates love, because that shows them that you care about them. Understood? Good. That is the third one. Number 4, the Buddha says, you should share without reservation. That means whatever you get to eat, let's say foods, you should share it. At least keep some. See, we had this habit when we were children, little kids. Right? Sometimes in Sri Lanka, I have a special Buddhist school, Buddhist Dhamma school. Sometimes I give some foods to children and they keep one part, sometimes a biscuit, they keep a separate, they break it into 2 and they put it inside their pocket. And I ask why did you do that? Now for my brother. Okay? For my mother, they say. See, we had this good habit when we were children. When we grow up, one thing that we lose is these good qualities. Okay? You can learn many things from babies. Look at them. Okay? No matter your body, how much your body grows, we are still babies inside, isn't it? Sometimes we act like babies. Yeah. So you have to share whatever you get with them. Sharing is one part of a good relationship. Sharing the happiness, sharing the sadness, Sometimes you can share the suffering also. Sometimes you say to your partner, no matter how good life is, I will still annoy you, definitely. Okay? It's okay. So, sharing, I see with monkshood. When I come to my room, there are you can definitely say that is inside my room in Sri Lanka, that there are pieces of chocolates, toffees or something that they share. That creates love. Okay. And number 5, the Buddha says, you should be virtuous. You should be disciplined. We call it, in Buddhist practice, we call it sila. Sila means discipline. Being disciplined makes the trust between people. Understand? That you are sure that your partner is loyal and they are there with you. Okay, once you're disciplined, you know who they are. Virtues. So that you become a virtuous person. The more you become a virtuous person, the more you become a trustworthy person. So we observed, in the beginning we observed 5 precepts. These are the Buddhist precepts that we observe. Killing beings, staying away from killing beings, abstaining from killing beings. Okay, that creates harmony. Abstaining from stealing, that creates harmony between people. Abstaining from sexual misconduct as your partner, it creates the trust between them. Okay. Abstaining from telling lies, it creates trust between people. Okay. Abstaining from intoxicating yourself, that creates trust and fearlessness between people. You're not afraid of someone. You just be a heartwarming person. Okay. So, being disciplined is a bigger part of Buddhist practice. Usually people see these things as rules, but they are not rules truly. Okay. Sila is not meant to be put you into a cage. It meant you to be disciplined. So that being disciplined or undisciplined is up to whom? Up to you. Buddha is not coming to punish you, okay? Understand? So that is the 5th one. And finally, the Buddha says, one should live with a common vision, with a one vision in a community. Let's say in a relationship, let's say in the monkshood, okay? Let's relate to monkshood. We become monks to dedicate our life to attain the nirvana, the enlightenment in Buddhism, the spirituality. So we train to be disciplined and to learn and meditate and do every stuff on behalf of that, so that we have one vision. What if everyone had that vision and they work for that? Is it easy? Yes. Everyone had the same vision. In any kind of relationship, when you have just one vision, let's say as a family you have one goal, one vision, so that you live up to that. Okay? You don't have other plans. Okay? You don't use them. You don't use other people. You just have one. Okay? So that it's very easy to cope when you become like-minded. Okay? So that you can resonate. Okay? We learned in physics about resonation. How do you resonate? When something is in the same frequency, you can resonate. Okay? So that goes with the living with the same vision. Understanding. Okay? So these are the 6 qualities that we must practice and enrich all of our lives, living with the community, living with people. I know it is difficult to live and deal with humans, isn't it? Humans are the most difficult creatures to deal with because they don't show their emotions. They know how to hide it. So the Buddha says that. Okay, the other animals, they show who they are. But we don't. So these qualities will enrich your relationships. And also one part of a great relationship is the communication. Okay? But this is the first thing that we don't do if a problem happens. If there's a problem, what happens? What do you do first? You don't talk with them. Isn't it? Yes, I don't want to talk. But communication is the most important thing in a problem. To express and to explain calmly how you feel. Right? Your condition. But sometimes we are too busy with the problem. Okay? If you're too busy with the problem, like you can't solve the problem. See? When you go to the doctor, like to get medicine, let's say you say, the doctor can, what's the problem? What's going with you? I have a headache. You say, I have a headache. Okay, then did you eat something bad? You say, no, I have a headache. Okay, you say. Then the doctor asks, how many days that you have it? No. I have a headache. You always talk about the problem, don't tell how you feel inside. You don't express. How can we give medicine? If all you say is you have a headache. First you have to learn how to communicate. Learn how to put a little bit of ego down, okay, and say, sometimes I'm sorry, okay, to forgive and to ask for forgiveness. Don't be afraid to say sorry, okay. So saying sorry doesn't mean you're wrong. Saying sorry means that you are a human. Saying sorry means that you value the relationship with that person than being right. I don't want to be all the time right, but I value you. That's why I say sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a funny quote I said in the other sermons as well. It says, the one who says sorry when he's wrong is called honest. The one who says sorry when he doesn't know whether he's right or wrong is called wise. Okay. The one who says sorry even when he's right is called husband. Okay. So that you have to say, you listen to every stuff and you say, okay, I'm sorry. I agree. No? And there's another quote that says, I love quotes that give a lot of things to think about. Okay, it says, living a married life is like reading the terms and conditions of a new app. You have a whole list. You keep reading, now you can't cope up, no, you can't read it more. Finally you hit agree. I agree. You just say, okay, I don't want to go for more, just I hit agree. Okay. So see, sometimes we have to do that. Why? Because we value people more than being a correct person. So that it makes you a good human. Okay? It makes you a compassionate human. Okay? Don't think that we are in separate boats. We are all in the same boat in life. We all go through these same sufferings, isn't it? Everyone. One thing that we can do is we can help each other. If we are in the same storm, in the same boat, right? One thing that we can do is not let someone down and help them. Because we know that we are in the same boat. That is compassion. That is why we need to understand about suffering. So suffering is not pessimistic. Suffering is not optimistic. Suffering is realistic. It is the real truth of our life. What Buddha teaches us is, this is suffering. This is the cause of suffering. Now the Buddha shows what causes the suffering. Why you feel this? Why do you go through these difficulties? The next. It is to understand, when you remove the cause of suffering, you remove the suffering. It's a cause and effect. And finally, Buddha teaches you the path to do that. Same like a doctor goes to the patient and says, I have a bad news. You have this disease. The doctor doesn't baby you. No? Doctor will be honest with you and bring you the bad news first. What is it? You have a disease. No? Then doctor explains why it caused. Okay? Why do you feel pain? Why do you have this sickness? It is the cause. Now the doctor brings you the good news. What is it? We can cure it. Okay? Don't worry, we can cure it. And the doctor introduces you to a course of medicines for you to follow. But drinking it is your job. It's not the Buddha's job, you know. It's not the Buddha's duty, it's our duty. Okay? So this is what all about the Buddha's teachings, and its teachings is amazing. Okay, if you like to learn more, you should read these things. Okay? Now you can say, oh, this is a big book, you can't read, no, too much heavy. Read online. You find excuses with the sizes of the book, read online. Some people say, come to me and say, like, I don't have much time to read. And then I said, read it. You have time to watch Facebook. You have the time to be on Instagram. Why don't you have time to read something on internet? Okay. So don't make excuses. We are not too much busy. None of us are too much busy. Okay? We are not busy like Elon Musk. Are we? He is considered as the busiest guy on this earth. He also have 24 hours. We also have 24 hours. He read books. Sometimes we don't. Okay? He reads. So why can't we do that? It's all about priority. What's important to us? Okay? So give some importance to your spiritual life as well. Okay? So that you're balanced. Okay? So I wish you all, time is running so fast, you know. I wish you all, may all of you be able to realize the Four Noble Truths. May all of you be happy, healthy, and may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Now we can go for the question and answer session. Is that a screen?
They have a QR code, they can scan it and they can submit the questions.
So where do they have the everyone have? Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So it is the time to hit me with the questions. If you have questions to discuss about, let's talk about it. Okay. First, it's a parenting question. My kids have very less communication with us, but they are good kids, but do not know whether they have any problem or not, as they're not talking with us. Lengthy. Okay? So what we should do? Why do they not talk with you? First, why do you, let's say, if you have a problem, okay, do you find certain people like you don't feel comfortable sharing with sharing that problem? Who are those people? The people you feel like they can't understand me. The people you feel like they will judge me. Right? We all are afraid of judgment. Okay? We are all afraid of people not understanding us. So do your kids. Okay? What I need you to do is to create an environment of understanding them. Not judgment, not lecturing, but understanding. How you do that? By accepting your children will make mistakes. They make mistakes. It's the nature. Okay? And one good parenting advice I give you is never punish your children if they say the truth. See, back in our days, we were punished even after we said truth. Isn't it? Next time if you were punished when you said the truth, next time what do you say? You lie. Where the lie comes from? Lying comes from fear. Where there is fear, there is lying. We are afraid. Fear of judgment, fear of losing something, fear of punishment, fear of not understanding. That is why we lie. That is why sometimes when people ask from you, how are you? What do you say? I'm okay. But you're not? None of us are okay. We all struggle. But sometimes we don't feel like sharing that struggle. Why? Because we don't feel confident. Create an environment for children to understand what mistake that they do. First, to accept, okay, now you made a mistake, but I'm here to help you. As a parent, you are not there, you're not supposed to judge them. It's not your duty. It's the society's duty. Whether it is a duty or not, they do it. But as a parent, you should not do it. Okay? Don't label your children as this kind of, that kind of, this kind of. No. Children are children. They all have similar things. They fight over silly things, brothers and sisters. That's normal. Yeah. So, first understand. And always make them feel that no matter what happens in their life, my parents, if I say that problem, they will have a solution for this, a better solution. To do that, you can't say you go, no matter what happens, you trust me, okay? They don't believe like that. You have to live according to that. Children, they don't learn with the commands, from the commands. They learn with the vision, what they see. Okay? We are vision people. We don't do what others say, we do what others do. Should I prove it to you? Keep your hands like this in front of you, please. It's a little exercise, okay? So I'll count to 3. Okay? When it is 3, you have to keep your palms together, like this. Okay? Ready? Good. Okay. 1, 2. I didn't count to 3 still. But you all did. We do things by seeing. Understand? Your kids do things according to your behavior. So maintain what they see. Okay? Okay, good. How can I stop feeling guilty and overthinking after doing something that I am not proud of? Maybe that's not proud of means a mistake, no? My way is to accept that you made a mistake. Okay? Accept that, okay, sometimes I'm stupid. That's smart. So that you feel like a human. Okay? And understand, healing does not happen overnight. And you can't forget what you did. You will never be able to forget your memories. Have you tried to forget a memory? Try to forget a memory now. What happens? It keeps you remembering. It takes time. We don't forget memories. We make memories less painful so that it doesn't hurt anymore. Same like healing a wound. It takes time, okay? But even after healing, it leaves a scar on your skin. Okay? That scar will stay as you. I have a lot of scars, okay? Forever, maybe until you die. But it doesn't hurt you anymore now. And this scar, back then, this car, I got this car from I fell off recently. Fell down from a stairway, due to the wet floor. And I had this is a memory now. Just a memory, you don't feel pain now. Same like that, when you accept and move on with it, with the time. It becomes less painful, but still the memory is there. Okay? Don't try to forget it, just let it forget. Okay? With the time. And accept it. And also don't touch the wound. We love touching wounds. Oh my God. You love to remove the scab and see the blood? Isn't it? Enjoying looking at it? That's how the wounds get, that's how you get a lot of scars as well. Okay? The more you touch, the more the wound gets worse. So let it happen. Okay? Is pest control considered against Buddhism? Practical question. I like it. Thank you for putting me in a difficult situation. Okay, Buddhism, if the pest is creating a lot of damage to our house. I know in these countries it's difficult for you. I'm struggling. So, killing animals is deliberately killing animals with intention of killing them. Okay. So how do we, usually in Sri Lanka what we do is we just carefully remove them to create less harm for them, okay? But there are some practical issues when it comes to places like this, because they don't invade us, but we invade them. Okay? We have invaded the animal's habitat. Okay? So, one thing that we can do is create less harmful environments for them, but see, Buddhism does not say it is a rule. Buddhism says that it is a discipline, so that you have to take your decision. Okay? Sometimes to do that you have to take difficult decisions, even though it is like difficult. Like, let's say pests are there and you're not ready to kill them. Okay? If you value the virtue than the house, okay, your quality of being less harmful, like not killing animals, then you find some other ways to, let's say, even to move from that place. Because you value materials than, you value the qualities, inner qualities than the materials. Okay? Sometimes we deal a lot of problem when we are in the jungle, like in the forest monasteries. But with patience, monks deal with a lot of things like that. Usually when we are in forest monasteries, the biggest problem is the ants, black ants. These guys, they love to be in the commode. Sometimes we go to the toilet and see a commode full of ants. You go with urgent now. But somehow we don't kill them. Okay? We deal with our problem in another way, but not kill. Okay? So, you can say it is impractical, but we value the virtue of not harming animals. Okay? So you find some other ways to deal with it instead of killing them. Then you can complain me, it's okay, no problem. But we don't do it. Is drinking out of happiness and or celebration is okay? Why can't we enjoy the time consciously? Okay? We all can have a genuine enjoyment without drinking. Understand? What has happened to us is that we think society has made a frame for you. You can only be happy with drinking. So that for every party you need it. Okay? That's what society has said to you. Okay? But what society says is not always correct. Right? You have to think about you. Okay? So I'm not someone to say what to do or what not to do. In Buddhism, that's the freedom that it is given, no rules, but shows you the path to be disciplined, so that you take actions thinking about your life. Because at the end of the day, Your life is your life. Okay? You will do certain things with your friends or around you, but at the end of the day, what you have done is what you have done personally. So that understand about it. Yeah, sometimes we drink for happiness, sometimes we drink for sadness, sometimes we drink for just because there's nothing to do sometimes. We find some way to drink. Not we, some people. How to help someone suffering from depression and how to support them get out of it. Try to listen more, not to give many advice, okay? Especially if she's a woman, don't talk. Listen more. No, that's one way. Like sometimes, as monks, some people come to talk with us with their problems. Usually, what we have to do, how we deal with them is first, if she's a woman, we don't talk much. We just let them to say what's in their heart. Okay, what's the problem? And finally they solve it by themselves. Most of the time, but no, we give guidance. But listening is a great power. Okay, listening is a huge power that we all need to have. Understand? And understanding. And teach them little by little to accept it. So what we learn today, if we give them that lesson little by little, it will be a help, and definitely seek medications and the other professional guidance as well. So that I'm not professional with it. Can I lie to make someone else happy because they are sad? Good question. There are so many other ways to make someone happy, even without lying. To lie, it is easy. That's the easiest thing that we do. Okay? And some category these as white lies, whole array of colors of lies we have. But in Buddhism, what lie is about fooling someone with the intention of fooling someone to make it like fooled, to cover the truth. Understand? That is the intention behind lying. I'm sorry that sometimes I will not be able to answer all the questions, but I will try my best. Okay, how to be disciplined with using the mobile phone and other devices. Good. You can do little things to do that. One, if you can charge, these are practical things, okay? If you can charge your mobile phone not near your bed, but maybe across the room or in another room. Okay? Before going to bed. Why I'm saying this? Because the first thing that many people do is when they wake up, they take the mobile phone and they scroll for some time. That is something that we put lots of information in the first place in our morning to our head. Best thing is to do is to charge the mobile phone in another room. Now you will say, I know what's going in your mind. I need to put my alarm on it. What I can do, no? Buy an alarm clock. Okay, you can buy an alarm clock. At least if you can wake up in the morning and the first hour, first 2-3 hours, spend time without using your mobile or any screens, so that you are more connected with the life around you. Okay. Have you seen morning? It's so beautiful, okay? Birds' noises. Your kids wake up and cry. Beautiful noises. But you can enjoy. Morning, spend some time without using it. And then another one. These are the things that we do. Don't take the mobile phone to the toilet. I have seen many people, they take their mobile phone to the toilet and they scroll. Because we are afraid of boredom. We are afraid to be boring. Isn't it? Yes, that's why we distract ourselves with them. Understand that boring is what we call peace. Peace is always boring. Yes. Do you think that peace will have a lot of distractions? No. How do you define a peaceful place? A place with less sounds, right? Place with no other distractions. A place for you to feel and breathe. But they are boring. Okay? They are boring. And also learn to do things without distracting yourself. Like sometimes, it's not a bad thing. I don't say, oh, these things are bad, but these things steal our consciousness and mindfulness to be with this moment. Okay? If you can do certain stuff without listening to something, without listening to music or stuff, that you are more focused on what you're doing. The feelings, the things that you experience with your work. Okay? So that you're more connected with what you do. So these are the things that we can little by little apply for us. These are called discipline, but sometimes you have to question. This is a practice that comes with the time, to question whether I want it or not. Because you see the mobile phone, you feel like picking it up. Before doing that, just ask yourself, do I want it now? Maybe not. So that deliberately you keep some time off from your screen. Okay? So try. Some health problems also there. Oh, is it a karma if you have a continuous problem from a child? Children always problems, you know. If you know how to deal with it, it won't be a problem. Okay? The problem is that you hate the problem. Sometimes we be the problem for the problem. Isn't it? That's one saying says, don't be a problem for the problem until the problem becomes a problem for you. Don't disturb the disturb until the disturb is disturbing for you. So understand, karma can come in different ways. Okay? Sometimes it is karma, sometimes it is not karma. Sometimes you think karma is the things that we have done in the past, but sometimes karma is also what we do today that creates the results. Okay? So maybe you have a problem from a child, maybe something that you have done in this life to get that result. But that's why I say don't hate them. You can deal and you can learn many lessons with them. I don't see any bad children. I never see any bad children, bad people in this world. I see people who make bad choices. I see children who make bad choices, mistakes, not bad people. You label them as bad people, they will always be bad. Okay? People name people who killed humans, they call them murderers. The more they name they are murderers, they will be a murderer. You see a person who has killed a human, but not a murderer. To help someone, definitely you have to see the brighter side of them. Without seeing it, you will never be able to help. Understand? Can be karma, but always believe that you can change this with your actions now, what you do now. Depends on what you do now. How do you stop comparing yourselves to others? Good question. Understand that first. Understand when you compare, it makes your journey slower. Same like a person who is running in a track, in a race. If he just start running and start looking at other runners, whether they are passing me or where they are or what they do, can he run? No. Definitely he'll fall down. A runner runs in his own track and perform the best in his own track and be the best in his track. He doesn't care about others. He does his best. Okay? And comparing will steal the happiness that you have in you about yourself. Okay? So it's always you versus you. Not about others. We spend a lot of time worrying about what others think or how their life is, But at the end of the day, we are just by ourselves. Our life is our life, not others. What is the Buddha's teachings on God? Does Buddhism believe in a God? We believe gods. Not God, but gods. We believe that there are beings called deities, The Buddha says there are worlds that are unseen, and it's not fair to say that it is heaven. We call it Devaloka, because heaven is a word that comes from Christianity, which gives a meaning of the word heaven is eternal. But in Buddhism, every world, every place you are born is subjected to death and decay. Okay? Impermanence, so that eventually you die. Even the devas, or the deities, they die. And they are subjected to reborn, which we call samsara. Okay? So, Buddha says, once the Buddha was asked, "Are you a god?" Then the Buddha said, "I am not." Okay. Then he asked, "Are you a demon then?" Then he said, "No, I'm not a demon." Okay. Then, "Are you a demigod?" Then Buddha said, "No, I'm not a demigod either." Then the Buddha said, he asked, "Are you then a human?" The Buddha said, "No, I'm not a human." What Buddha says is, I have surpassed all the levels of beings, and I have enlightened, and I have realized an average human does not want to realize something that is average human never realized, okay, never practiced. So that I am the Buddha. So Buddha wasn't a god or a human or none of them. Buddha was the Buddha. That's what the sutras say. Okay. Because of the because of the realization that he had. So usually the Buddhism falls under atheistic practice, which does, like in the sense of atheism, does not believe in a god. Is one's fate decided from the birth? One's fate decided from the actions that he takes, which we call the karma. Okay? Our actions, our potentials that we create today will lead to the future results. Same like you plant a mango tree, you get mangoes in the future. But today it doesn't have mangoes inside the seed. Does it? No. But it had the potential to create mangoes. Same like that, the intentional actions that we do creates potentials into the future. Understand it? In a world where artificial intelligence is gaining more ground, what part can Buddhism play? Artificial intelligence and the technology stuff, it is the development of outer world, the material world, you know. But Buddhism runs totally different into that, to that. What Buddhism teaches is, science develops the outer world, Buddhism develops the spirituality, your mind, inside. So that we need both. We need science and also we need spirituality as well. Understand that. So that don't say that Buddhism is better than science or science is better than that or that. No, we need both. Okay, good. Okay, I think we have come to the end of this session. So now we'll share some merits. Can I have the paper that I gave you? There. Okay. So first I have some announcement to inform. So you can, at the end of this session, I think you've given a leaflet, or maybe you can take it when you go out. So you can join the Sydney Mahamanava Monastery, and also you can join with it and learn the Buddha's teachings and engage in spiritual practices, both physically and also both spiritually, so that you can learn the Buddha's teachings. One of the main important things we have to do is, as Buddhists, and also the other people who are gathered here, is to start learning them. Not only just listen, but read and think and learn them. That it gives you a good knowledge about what Buddhism is and how it should be applied to life, so that everyone can apply. Because there is nothing in Buddhism that is not related, that is related only for Buddhists. Okay? Buddhism is not for everyone. Buddhism is not, but Buddhism is not only for Buddhists. Buddhism is for people who likes to seek and question and learn and to open their mind to realize the true nature of life. Okay? Who are ready to do that. So you'll be given this, and then you can join with it and collect more merits to your life. Okay? So now let's share all the merits that we collected today. Can everyone please say sadhu? Sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So first of all, let's share all the merits that we collected today with all the deities who protect the Gautam Buddha's dispensation. May all the gods rejoice in this merit, and may they be well and happy, may they live long, and may they protect all the devotees who joined this Dhamma sermon today, and may all the gods realize Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And let's share the merits with our venerable teacher, most venerable Cherrybrook Thero, and with all the monks and the nuns of Mahamanava monasteries. May Mahasangha rejoice in this merit, and may they be well and happy, and may they be able to realize Four Noble Truth in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And finally, let's share the merits with our departed relatives. May all the departed relatives of all of us rejoice in this merit, and may they be able to escape from this samsara as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also, let's share the merits with all the devotees who helped to make this program a success. First of all, those who offered to bear the cost of hiring of this hall and to host this meritorious Dhamma program, and all those who donated financially, and all those who were kind to create the beautiful floral arrangements here, and all those who helped in organizing the refreshments for today's participants as well. So may all of them rejoice in this merit, and may they be well and happy, may they live long, may they live a happy life, and may they be able to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also special merit sharing goes to all the devotees who make the regular monthly donations for mortgage repayments and to keep up the works of monasteries and its religious services. And also let's share the merits with the Board of Directors of Mahamanava Buddhist Monastery of Sydney, So let's share all these merits with all of them by the power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. May all of you devotees rejoice in this merit, and may you be well and happy. May you live long, may you live a happy life, and may all of you be able to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Say with me. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katam achyam khamami bhanti bhuri panya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katam achyam khamami dhamma sandittika akabika. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katam achyam khamami sangha supatipanna nuttara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Mahasangha is giving blessings to you. Abhivadana silissa nicham vaddhapachayino chattaro dhamma vatanti ayuvanno sukham balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu. Supateva. Sadhu, sadhu anmodami. Sadhu anmodite. Kamami kamitabham. Sukhiyotu nibbana pachayotu. Sapaduka pamajatu supatveva supateva. Namo Buddhaya. Tirvan Sarasa.